Good morning, everybody. It's your boy LB. So, making my great Saturday video. What do I have to report? Not a whole lot. I'm just here snacking on some mangoes. Gonna sit there and see how the fruit does with my body. How insulin can hopefully retain some of the minerals in my kidneys. Lots of things that I learned yesterday just watching people that I used to follow and how they changed up their diet. It's interesting. But not to get it twisted, while they may have switched and may have went to a different direction, they haven't done one thing. So, let me see how many carbs are in this. Alright, 24 grams of carbs. And this is for... See, I don't know how much is 28 grams. Right. So, apparently you can become insulin sensitive, insulin resistant whenever you're just not consuming enough sugar. So you could have a diabetic insulin resistance because you've reduced your carbs too much, or you can have it if you've had too many carbs. It's like trying to find that sweet spot according to how much your activity is. Well, lately I've been pretty freaking active, and I haven't been really putting a whole lot of carbs inside of me. I don't think I have, to the degree I need to. And so, you've got some guys that are putting in carbs at the 200 level, 2 to 300 level. And they have really good or better biomarkers. But one of the things that they do not talk about is why they say you need to do more carbs, more sugar, is that most people would think they need to go out and buy, or they can eat anything. They can eat the processed foods, they can eat all this other stuff, and it's that combination that seems to be the issue. You know, if you're really sourcing it out and you're getting your carbs from fruit, honey, some of those sources, it tends to supposedly do better. Now, I'm not necessarily on that kick. I'm actually doing things like grabbing some oats, grabbing some breads, things of that nature. Now, why would I do that? It's because I've been looking at these diets, like the 7-day Adventists, which are like the longest living people. Like, their diet beats out the Mediterranean diet. And they tend to include more fruits. Granted, this is dry fruit. Probably a living fruit would be better. Something that's more fresh from the tree. But you get the idea. What I'm eating is way more alive than me eating meat. Don't get me wrong, I like meat. So it's not like I'm going to remove that completely out and not have that in my food regimen. I just want to be careful about how much I'm consuming and opposed to everything else. Because at the end of the day, I'm really trying to survive and I want things great for my kidneys. Speaking of liver and kidneys, I went last night and I drank, which is probably not the best idea, right? So I had a beer, I had 3 cocktails, one was 15% alcohol. She said, my lady told me basically I had some wine, and then I had the 2 cocktails, which were like 6.4 ABV, so we're looking at another 2 beers. So in grand total, probably had about 3 beers and 1 glass of wine. Not too bad. That's a pretty decent amount of alcohol. Now, how am I feeling today? I think I deal with a lot more gas intestinal stuff than anything, but overall I'm still doing good. I still feel functioning. My mind's great. And I'm just trying to get myself a little bit together for this morning regimen, just eating the foods I'm going to be eating. And then I'm probably going to hike over to the other house and do some work. I'm brainstorming on that. So I'm getting that structured out. I've figured out a way that I think is going to work for my cousin taking over and using my truck. So instead of me having to have another car or another vehicle responsible on my insurance or something like that, I will get him to put insurance on the vehicle and him to pay for getting it registered. And that'll save like my headaches on stuff. And this will be like without him having to pay, he can use the vehicle. So basically, he gets the vehicle for free with me still retaining ownership, but him having insurance and driving it, lottie dottie. So that I get the best of both worlds. When I need to have this vehicle for different work and stuff, I have it. And in the downtimes or whatever, which is going to be pretty much most of the time, he'll be active using it and making sure it's taken care of, all that stuff. And that's how I can take care of the best of both worlds, because I was getting a little worried about having a vehicle and I'm not there on site to freaking do anything. So, and last night I spent time with the lady, you know, so obviously I was out and we had a great time. If you're wondering what kind of mangoes I like, you probably can't see it because of the overlay, but let me bring it here. There you go. Anna Sarah. Some of the best mangoes I've ever had. Taste-wise, quality-wise, they just stay together better. I was out with the lady. Made her really connected again. She said she's trying to give me all the signs like, I want you more. And I'm like, yeah, I can see it. I'm pretty aware. So now, it's just a matter of me actually opening up my house and allowing her in. And she's very, if there was a woman that was wanting to connect with me before, like my last ex, while she would touch me, you know, she'd want to be close. There was things like that, of course, but I don't know how much of the genuine closeness I felt. I don't know. Maybe it was just the early bird special. I have no idea. But this last one, she's very, very, like whenever she cuddled up to me yesterday at the bar. That's not really her forte. The only time she's ever cuddled with me is when she's been in my house in the past. But at the bar that she did it, and she was like, "Oh, this is what I needed." Like she was telling me about it later in the text, but I think it's time to move on to the next stage, where we spend time with each other, we watch our movies, we have a great evening. The only thing is, I have to be mindful of my impatience. And when I go over to spend the night at some woman's house, I'm spending the night. I'm not like, okay, I'm here and I gotta go because you gotta go to bed. Like, nah. No, if I stay, I'm staying in your bed. Doesn't mean we have to do anything. I don't have any expectations on life, on stuff like that, but I would like a place to sleep. Like, I keep it so simple. And so if she comes over here, I'm going to be like, hey, you know, there'll be a few times maybe she comes and goes. I don't care about that. But I'm going to be like, hey, at some point, you're here. Your dog's here. Why do you need to go home? Like, where you need to be in the morning. You got nowhere to be. She isn't working right now. So, I didn't even think about that. There's actually no reason why she can't just spend the night. So we'll see. I mean, I've got an opportunity. Probably should take some opportunity of it, right? Sorry to be munching and talking on a video, but I'm here out of consistency. Talked with my cousin for 2 hours last night. Great combo. was able to talk about some of the past times I've had, when I was in Diamond Head, Mississippi, and that whole crazy adventure. New Orleans and before Katrina. There was a lot of little times that I've had, and he had some times that he related. And we even talked about like cancers, because he's a cancer, and the girl I'm with right now is a cancer. And so he told me, he was like, we are big givers, but we want to receive some recognition. They are huge on receiving recognition. I know that because she's the same way. She's like, when she sees like she's done something for somebody, she's really anticipating to see like what the reaction is going to be as a return. And so I told her, I was like, you got to get out of expectationville. Like, you can't, if you're going to be a doer and a giver, which is totally okay. I don't have any objections about that. That's on the person. But if you do that, it's already, you're getting gifts as much as you're giving. So every time you're giving, you're receiving. And so if you keep going with, I gave that, but, and I'm waiting, and like that means you're not seeing the fruit of what you've done. You're wanting more. And just because you raise the bar on something like that, you set yourself up for disappointment when everything doesn't meet it, right? We just get, our expectations are not met. So that's something that I try to get her to approach life as an inspector instead of an expector. And I think she understands that. I mean, she's like working on that, and it's just a little. It takes time. We're all growing, so she's receptive of it. And I try to tell her, it's like, when you do a lot of things for people over time, they receive it so often they take it for granted. It's a natural effect. It becomes commonplace. Just like in America, when we're given so many things and we take it for granted, it takes a lot for us to, reel it all back and be aware that we are blessed beyond measure at the moment. And I try to tell people, like, and I forget myself so often, but if you were to if a king and a queen in the past could see what the peasants have today, they would gladly take it and more over all their riches. So they would trade their status, their place, to take a peasant's position in modern day society. And for that, people ought to look and see how blessed they are. And I think that's something that I want to work towards, and understanding that we're just a bunch of kings and queens whining about being kings and queens. But the thing is, we need to figure out how we go back and help the people that are less fortunate and build relationships. I'm starting to try to figure that out, and hopefully I'm successful. But I'm not going to wreck the day with a lot of talk. I got stuff I want to try to get done. We'll see how successful I am. And I wish you all a wonderful, super amazing day. Thank you for listening and watching my videos. Like, subscribe, that fun stuff. We'll see what happens in the future. But for now, we move ahead day by day. All right. See y'all. Take care.